Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate the Brettzel 2. We use this stretch a lot in our clinic to loosen up the posterior chain or the back side of your body. I'm gonna demonstrate here on the mat table, but it can be done just as easily at home on the floor. So what I'm gonna do is to start off the move, I'm gonna go ahead and sit, and I kind of tell people you're gonna kick your top leg. So you're gonna sit on a hip, kick your top leg behind you. And look to get into a 90-90-90 position. So I have 90 degrees at my knee, 90 degrees between my thighs, and we'll call this 90 degrees at my trailing knee. What you want to watch for before we get going here is most people, when I watch them on the follow-up visit or when I review it with them, when they come back, they're doing the stretch and they have this knee really bent. And what that does is it locks them out of their hips so they can't make the rotation I'm about to describe, and it creates problems for their back. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that if we do anything, we're going to keep this a little greater than 90 degrees at this trailing knee, but we're certainly not going to go less than 90 degrees. So we're going to get in the 90-90-90 position, and then I'm going to walk my hands around, driving from my top hip. So my hip is starting off the move, and I'm going to try and line up my shoulders with my lead thigh, my left hand with my left hip, my right hand with my right knee in this position. Okay? This is the first part of the Brettzel 2. And the other thing we'll see is as they're coming around, the rib elevates and it creates some pinching in their low back. So make sure as you do that, you keep the rib down, okay, as you're making that turn, and that should keep a lot of the pressure out of your back. The other thing that'll cause that back pain is if this hip hasn't come forward, so watch for that as well. So this is position 1. Now, position 2 that we'll teach here is reach. We're gonna feel a lot of that first position kind of down in the hip, but now I'm gonna reach toward my opposite hand, and I'm gonna lean away to where I'm missing that post. So I'm gonna drop that rib, I'm gonna emphasize the rib drop, and I'm gonna lean away, and now I'm getting a stretch from my hip to my right shoulder, okay? And it's a little bit deeper. So just like that, let me show you from this angle as well. So 90-90-90, I got my hand lined up with my hip, my other hand lined up with my knee, I'm reaching, I'm dropping my rib, and I'm leaning away from my, make sure this elbow doesn't get too bent, so keep it straight, okay? So the third variation of the stretch we'll do is we'll get in our 90-90-90, and then we'll straighten our lead knee. And we're gonna come here, and then we're gonna reach away. Now you're gonna feel that deeper into your hamstring and calf, but equally up from the glute to the opposite lat. So this is the Brettzel 2, helps us stretch the posterior chain. We use it a ton here in our clinic. Go ahead and try it at home. Make sure you share it with a friend who needs the stretch, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of our updates here at the Movement Clinic.